Outstanding.
Welcome again to another tutorial video. It's your boy Elerado and thing. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Anyways, follow me on our social media platform including AudioMac also, and visit my website at Eldorado Productions for kits, preset packs, beats, and much more. So, microphone where? So without further ado, let's get into this video. This video is about the sounds that I use for my beats, dancehall beats, and reggae, really reggae, dancehall, trap overall, and the sounds that I've used. So it is 10 Kontakt library that I particularly use in various amount of beats, and even up until this day I still use these Kontakt libraries. So let me play the intro chorus at the rhythm to make you get an idea of what the libraries that I am using. So here goes. So there it is. What I have done, been selecting the libraries, I've actually created a beat from all these top 10 libraries that I use to make dancehall beat. However, bear in mind some of these sounds are layered, or most of them are probably all of them are layered, and I use it multiple times, but it is 10 libraries. So first on this list, let me solo up this, is none other than Future Pop library from Studio Link VST. And I am very sure, or you're probably aware if you've been watching this channel for a while, that on my FL Studio tutorials, I've used this plugin a lot. Reason being, it has a nice sound, a modern sound. I really like it. The UI is easy to use and it is not difficult. The sounds are very already high quality and pretty much drag and drop. So it is Future Pop library from Studio Link VST, and this is the pattern I use on this beat for this part with this particular plug. So you can adjust. You have your reverb, you have distortion, you have your tremolo or whatever you might want to pronounce it as. Basic control to get basic function of what you need. You have the main menu here, arpeggiated section, FX, and KFX with some additional features to it. I really liked it. It has a lot of sounds, including guitar, synths. See if we can find it somewhere here. Quick load. I have it somewhere here. Yeah. You have a lot of sounds. You have 808 arps, bass, beat ideas. I don't know what that's for. I'm never really going at that. Hi-hats, keys, leads, organ, instruments, plucks, synth chord, and synth guitars. Synth guitars are really awesome. You should check that out. So it is Studio Link Future Pop Kontakt Library is number 1 on this list so far. So moving on to the next library from Kontakt is Book of Sounds. I think this Book of Sounds 2 from Big Works. Really awesome, people. So with this library, what you get with this library is Book of Sounds 2. You have 808 and bass, arpeggiations, bells, brass, chorus, or yeah, choir and voices, guitar hits, like them orchestral hits there, keys, little keyboard sound, leads, pads, plucks, and strings. So bear in mind that these library comes with a lot of sound. Thus, there's a lot of people who have a lot of sounds and not really utilizing them well. Um, for me, having Kontakt libraries, you know, it can take up a lot of space. So bear in mind, uh, what I have thus far as hard drive, I have a HDD hard drive that's a regular conventional hard drive. It's a 4 terabyte that I use to stream my Kontakt libraries, Omnisphere library, um, Steinberg, Hallian library, um, my as what other plugin? Library based plugins I really stream from that particular hard drive, because for me, using SSD with Kontakt sounds, it sometimes tends to stick. I don't know if it's the type of SSD I'm using or whatever the case may be, but that is my problem with it. So I use regular conventional hard drive that the disk is always spinning, so I don't really get that stick effect, loading effect, and that weird little thing. So without further ado, this is chapter 2. I haven't gotten chapter 1 of the book of sounds. So what you have so far is the envelope filter used controls, LFO controls, effects. With a normal effects, you can do your sound design and the arpeggiated section. So this is the sound that I use, string gate for strings. Here I layered it with other sounds. So very nice sounding strings. And bear in mind, with this beat being mixed, it's going to sound really phenomenal. So it's just a rough beat that I cooked up for this particular tutorial video. As you can see, I named it top 10. So the third Kontakt sound is another layered sound with the previous ones, is signal from output. Um, this particular library have an extensive amount. I don't know if they have updated lately. I haven't checked. I had this library for many years now. I think one time I did the update about that. I don't really know if more update has come out. So as me I say, I think a couple months after this library drop many years ago, I had it, and even up until this day, I still use it in my beats for plucks, dark synth pads, um, you know, any little thing aggressive or pulse-ish like. Yes, I've used this library for, and majority of the time when I use this library, I usually turn down the sounds, because to me these sounds better with from signal when they are low, but they have some of them that really phenomenal sound. So you have a lot of weird sound, and the controls are very simple and intuitive, and it can get really complex. So as you can see here, you have the preset part, you have the pulse engines here with the control selected here, and you can get really advanced with a lot of control. If you want to dig deep or want to turn off one side of one sound, because some of these sounds are layered in a weird way. I really hear a sound in it you really want in your beat alone. You want to turn off certain things, you can do that also. You have effects panel, you have save and copy preset. So while you're adjusting a particular sound for a particular beat, you can also save that as a preset within this plugin. Really, really awesome. So the the sound that I use from this is number 74, that DN3, and this is what it sounds like on this particular demonstration beat. So bear in mind, most of these sounds are layered to make one particular sound. So in unison, it probably might sound like what you've heard before. So moving on to the fourth sound in the Kontakt series library is Swagger from VIP Loops. Really, really nice, people. As you can see, this is what the library pictures look like, and Swag, it has a lot of things in it. So the instrument that you get within Swags is ARPS bass brass, FX guitar, keys, leads, pads, shards. Particular, I don't know what that is for. I haven't tried it. Strings, stutter, sweeps, and synth. Bear in mind, there's a lot of sound in this, so I don't think you can really run out of sounds so fast with this library. You know, I have made a lot of beats using Swag only, and I really like the arpeggiated sound. It sounds really nice, and their leads also. So as you can see, it is pretty much straightforward and really don't have really much other selective banks. You have the pitch glide, you have the drive in the trigger, your modulation effects, um, compressor, EQ envelope, LFO. That's really different. That's really nice. And the stutter effects on it also. So you know, you can get really really creative with this library. It has a lot of sounds, so to speak, and you can do a little bit sound design and change up the sound as how you really need it to be for your particular beat. Now, for this particular sound, I use a lead classic sine, and I turn it down really really low for this particular section of this demonstration beat. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, so it has a really really nice clean sound. So one thing to note is be very selective with your sounds, because certain and certain sound will go together. I just will be blunt about it. Regardless of how it sound, certain sound and certain sound don't really go well together. So you might be making a beat and you just be splashing sounds in it. It probably might sound on point or on key or whatever the case may be, but then again, it just don't sound good. You see, so you have to be really, really selective when you come onto your sound. Take your time and go to your sound. Not because you want to build a beat fast or whatever the case may be, because sometimes creative process really takes time. So, next plugin on this list is no other than what the plugin name again? S90 ES4 Kontakt Edition. I think it's a keyboard. Look, I think it's a keyboard sound. I don't remember who made it. I had it quite some time now, but it is awesome. So with this library, you have a lot of different piano sound. You have natural, elegant, bright, dark, intimate, digigrand, full grand, R&B, soft, DX crisp, ballad, E piano. I don't know what the hell that is. Yamaha, EP, chorus delay, whatever this is also. And you have a few control like analog light, pad, VP soft or VP strings. I guess it can really play in such ways that it sounds really nice. And I have used it on like my emotional type dancehall beat, or the beat like RIP type beat. Even though I don't really make RIP type beat, hit the whole RIP type um whatever it is. And you have reverb, pad sounds, among other things on it. So none. So on this particular um I use it as card in this beat demonstration, and this is what it sounds like. So for instance, I would, probably change it to that. So it really is a really phenomenal piano library, and you can probably Google it and find out where it is. It's been so long. I have some of these things I don't remember where I got some of them. Some of them I probably might see it on um, audio, the plugin boutique, some are on other contact based website library. Been so long since I have gotten some of them. This particular one, probably I want a free version. Anyways, moving on. So number 6 is from Substance. It's an output library, and it is really awesome. It is a bass based plugin. So for this particular sound, it is a layered sound with a fretless bass sound. Yeah, fretless E bass, and there's a guitar bass and a sine bass blending together. As you can see, it has a lot of preset. Come out of favorite preset within. You can't really run out that bass sound so fast. So it is slightly intensive on the CPU. It depends on what you do still, yeah, and how much you really use it. But it is a bass module plugin, and you can really check it out. It is awesome. The controls are very easy to use. As you can see, you have the sine sub, click, tight click, tight click, filter, dirt. That I think this is some sort of distortion, LFO, attack time. I think that has to do probably work in conjunction with this, or it has to do with compression. You can edit your sounds, you can layer them, you can EQ, you can filter, you can add effects, and this section has to do it is a arpeggiated section, regardless they call it rhythm. What rhythm? Probably might different from the arpeggiated section. Who knows? I don't really use much of these controls because the sounds are so awesome as is. So as you can see, 2 of them may use. And moving on to the 7th sound, or 7th library that I use on majority of my beats is another library from Big Works. It is called, let's look for it again. It is called where it is for trap, yeah, trap influence Kontakt library from Big Works, and it is pretty much different from the other library that they have made, that is the books of the book of sounds. And what this does, it basically is a trap based library. It has a lot of trap based sound where you can use run dancehall also. So this is what I have used it for with the piano cloud sound. For this one, probably you probably ask why it sound choppy. What I did the sound as is and I chopped it up. So it give that jiggy effect like. Yeah, really, really nice. So you can really do that and press mark and press Alt U and chopped it up as how you see fit. That's what I did. So uh, it has basic control, delay, phaser, filter, reverb, arpeggiated section, and it's pretty much straightforward as is. No other section of the UI so far. It's just straightforward as is. So the eighth sound on this list is from output, and it is Exhale. That you probably might know this plugin already, but a lot of vocal chops are from this particular plugin. Normally, I would have wrote it to a different MIDI out, but for the sake of this demonstration purpose, I just keep it as omni as possible and layer the sound. However, I use two sounds from this. It's number 16 Voodoo and number 21 Echoes. So this is what it sounds like with it. It might sound weird as per single, but it does sound unique in the context of the beat. So as you can see, it has a lot of different sections where, as in, you can get really, really creative with it. You have the main, you have the engine section, in which it has a lot of advanced feature. You can saturate, you can pan, you can do your lo-fi, your rhythm section, the time, and a lot more crazy stuff. You can really get really, really creative with at least one sound. You can get really creative with as many times as possible. So it has this one that I have. I don't know if they have they come out with any more updates for this particular engine, but I had it for a very long time, and when you have sounds like I do, you tend to forget to check for updates. But anyways, I really like how this sound. I'ma like it, and I really use it mostly for like vocal chops within my beats. So the eighth Kontakt library sound on this particular beat is Urban Strings. I'll tell you how to make it. Quick load. Producer's choice, Urban Strings, and it pretty much straightforward as is. I really like the string sound. Some in most of the beats, I really turn them down low because they have a very high, harsh sound to it, in which it can really sound very nice and subtle. Depends on how you really treat it, and pretty much that is it. As it, you just have the ADSR section to it, in which it is really nice. So this is what it sounds like with it. And I turned it down beneath the beat. And last but not least, the 10th sound on this library of Kontakt is no other than Ultron. The people who really made this really nice, some nice people, and them know what dancehall need. So you have the multi-section, in which these are layered libraries. So you drag one of the preset, you have a layered section of the different modules have been added. So within the instrument section, as you can see, factory, you have background, not certain what that is, I haven't tried it, bass, drums, keys, lead, live, probably live sound, pads and strings, pluck, smart sequence, I don't know what that is, synthetic effects, and waveform. Some of these control I don't really use. Some of these preset are libraries. Yeah, the preset I haven't used. I pretty much stay in the realms of the lead, keys, and probably the bass. Depends on what kind of bass we really need, and the pluck. But for this one, I use a pluck electric harp preset from this one, and I turned down the reverb because the reverb was pretty high for this sound, so I turned it down and turned off the delay because I like having my delay dedicated as possible, so I have more flexibility and more control over it. And another thing, yeah, and the coloration of delay, because sometimes in a session you use multiple sound with multiple different delays, and sometimes it can be nice, but sometimes you kind of throw off the whole vibe of the sound. So for this particular one, I never really like all the delay sound, so I have turned it off. Smart sequencer, probably that's the arpeggiated section. But anyway, it has the basic control: your ADSR, your pitch, your filter, your transition, transition, yeah, transition. Um, Not sure what these two sections do, but as you can see, size, sharp, whatever those, I'm not really trying, I just work with the preset. I'm not lie about that. So this is a very nice library, and this is the sound that I use with this one. So most of these sounds really familiar to you, and most of these top producers are using these Kontakt library among other dedicated VST. But I can tell you, you can get the most out of modern sounds from these library. So we play it once more again from the beginning with all these libraries. You have made it to the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other suggestion for Kontakt library that you know of that I have mentioned in this video, please do leave it in the comments below. And please leave some comments for any other tutorial video that you want to get done, or whatever the case may be, or question you want to ask. I try to arrange some very informative and precise tutorial that have to do with from Riddim production to music production and copywriting and all other stuff. So I've been working on a lot of topics and so forth like that. But if you make it to the end of this video, then you know what's coming. So thank you for tuning in. It's a boy Eldorado. Don't forget to visit the website, subscribe to my socials. Until the next time in another tutorial video, peace out.